Hi diddly ho, viewerinos. Shall we do some code? Yeah, so not my normal stream day. I did intend to be doing a bit of writing today, but I just wasn't feeling it, you know? So, I decided short stream, and we will see whether we can actually get something done. I'd like to say that last night after the stream I didn't spend another 2 hours sorting out the assertion errors we were getting, and that's kind of true. I spent 2.5 hours. Woke up kind of tired this morning, of course, but I learned two very important things. Number one, if we look at the level class here, we actually do have the restart button appearing, which I was just using as a placeholder. If you set up the arrow function so that it looks like this, which is something I'm in the habit of doing and should not be doing, this format means return whatever this returns. And in JavaScript it doesn't matter because you can return void or undefined or whatever. Turns out in WebAssembly that causes the assertion we was getting where it was assert the type isn't null, isn't void. Well, yeah, it's void because I told it to return something that doesn't return. So you must always, and I'm probably going to have to get used to this in JavaScript and TypeScript as well, put the curly braces around so that it doesn't think you're instantly returning it. And of course in this you can just do return in the normal way and it will just return, but we don't want to do that. So that's the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is that in index, if you construct an object directly when you're passing it to a function, it doesn't like that either. You've got to assign it to something and then pass it through. It will either give you the error as having where it says could not find object game state, because that's the sort of infinite recursion that I thought it was. It was trying to construct a title screen. The title screen depended on the game state, the game state depended on level, and it didn't know which one to resolve first. Turns out by setting it to a variable, you resolve all this stuff, and then you tell game state to load it, and it resolves all that stuff, and it's happy. There was another assertion. I realised this partway through debugging that there was actually two different assertions, and I'm not entirely sure what was causing the second one. It might be a variation on this, where I was assigning it directly to a property, but we've solved all that now, and hopefully we can get some things sorted out here. So let's close this down, and number one, I wonder if we can bring our functions back. Let's just try that out. If it fails, then we can stop doing it, but probably can't have functions here, but we could probably have these functions in the game state. So let's open up the game state. Wonder if we can do this. Probably not, because the problem we was having with it was that we wasn't assigning it to anything. It was going over scope, I think. But this one, let's get rid of that. Okay, so we've got set umbrella, we've got restart level. So let's pull all of these in and get rid of the comments and very quickly tidy them up so that they look like methods. We don't need this one, so we've got no gift, climbing boots, umbrella, and bomb. And we need the actions as well. So which ones were the actions? So we need okay, let's just do set climb action. No. Yeah, we didn't actually have any actions yet, did we? Okay, so let's keep that like that, and let's do climbing boots, umbrella, and bomb. These need to be game state. I think I can still have make button. So let's try that. Push an object onto the UI controls. Get our position in there, our text and our action. And can uncomment these two. So I'm hoping this will compile nicely, and I want to get rid of this. It had me worried there. I just pulled my usual trick of forgetting the return. It's not until you work with something as restrictive as Assemblyscript that you realise all of the things you thought you was pretty good at, you're actually not. Okay, so can overflow. Okay, so let's re-comment these out. Can overflow was the other one. It's the other assertion error that I couldn't quite remember. So this is going to be 1, 4, 7, and these are all going to be 14. all of this I can pretty much copy straight up. I think I need an extra bracket on the end of them. Yeah. So let's try rendering it again. Oh, I don't believe it. I made the exact same mistake again. Okay, so comment these ones out. Uncomment these ones. That seems more promising. Done. Excellent. So if we hit start, we have climbing, umbrella, and explode. Now this is a bug that I'm guessing came from all of our refactoring that we did when trying to solve these errors. They're just not moving. I think it's something in the update that's not quite working. But okay, so make button works. Let's just commit this. Okay. Now let's start straight off in the loop and try and debug why they're not moving. So the animation's playing, which means the loop is running. And the animation seems to be running at the right speed. So it's getting to here, and the timer's working. Still running slightly quickly, but I think we still have it set like that. I don't think that's a bug. Yeah, we've got it at 3 times speed. Right, so go into the game loop. We need to tell it which game loop we want. Yeah. So time left decrements. Let's just assume that's working for now. And that. I don't actually think I call update Lemmings anywhere. No. So we update the Lemmings before we render the level. And here we go. So what I want to do now is when I hover over a lemming and there's one of the actions selected, I want a kind of cursor thing to appear around the lemming, but I'm going to hold off on that for now and just say if I click a lemming and something's selected, I want them to get that ability. Okay, so let's just commit this change. Oh yeah, we can take all of these out now because we know it works. Nice. Right. So back to the loop. In process inputs, okay, let's just assume that it's never going to be in two things at once. So here we want to return. We might at some point have to put all of this into a specific process click input so that we can process other inputs, but for now it's fine where it is. So we run through the buttons. If there's no button clicked, then let's do in fact, we need to add something to the level first, which is going to be needs to be abstract. Process lemming clicks. Click. Lemming select. And in level, just copy this. Don't know why I bothered writing public again. So in process lemming select, what do I want to pass to it? I guess just mouse tile X and mouse tile Y. So, they're I32, so we need to also put these in the abstract method. And here we'll literally just go this is going to be much easier because all I need to do is not this. Looks a bit ugly. I need that to be top length. But we just check the exact X position and the exact Y position of the mouse versus the X and Y positions of I don't want or, I want and of the lemming. If both of those are correct, then we want to yeah, I think in here so if there is a gift, then I guess in the lemming class we can do a set gift function, can't we? So we just need to do a quick switch statement and go over the possibilities. Climbing boots. Actually, I'm going to make this one a boolean as to whether or not it applied, because if it doesn't apply, we don't want to decrease anything. So here we, what am I doing? We want to do this climate equals crew, but only if it's not already true. I always think that the break should be on the same space, the same horizontal alignment as the case. It just seems to match up with the curly brace logic. Doing the exact same thing with the umbrella. Now the difficult bit is, well, we don't have quantities of these yet. should be fine. Oh, I need more break statements. It's not going to matter because each one only happens once. And what we can do is in the level. Where did I do it? Oh, I haven't done it yet. But in level, when we're processing this, so what we're doing is, if the gift is applied, we want to return. We reset the lemming gift. In fact, we've got a helper method. Set no gif, and we want to return. If it's not applied to this lemming, there may well be another lemming in the same place, or there may well yeah, there may be several lemmings in it, so we want to keep looping through them until we get one that it does apply to. Oh hey, just noticed the raid. Hi Nick, hi Al, hello everyone. How are you all doing tonight? Sorry, I got a bit ranty with the code, I got a bit distracted. Hope you had a good stream, Nick. This isn't TypeScript, Nick, this is Assemblyscript. This is compiling down into WebAssembly, because I wanted WebAssembly without all of the complicated stuff. Yeah, it uses TypeScript syntax, it uses TypeScript preprocessors and all of that. It's very familiar to me, but you're all just in time to see me fail to compile a module, because this happens a lot. And there we go. Oh, I added something to my abstract class and then didn't put it into one of the implementations. Yeah, Hal, I'm in the zone. Race is on the same line as the condition. Yeah, I kind of have a mixed style of races, because I do part of C# and part of TypeScript, so I tend to get a bit messy when I'm working between the two. Yeah, it has been a while, Kane. Yeah, I kind of fell out of Twitter for a while, and I'm hoping to get back in pretty soon. So one thing you'll notice about Assemblyscript is it's got kind of incomprehensible syntax, error messages and all of that. Process Lemmings select. Okay, yeah. I changed my mind partway through implementing this. So just at the very bottom we want to return false there. So what we're doing at the moment is we have what I call lemming gifts, and if we restart the level, these are just some of the skills. I've got climbing, umbrella and explosion as gifts because they work slightly differently. And what I'm hoping to do now is to be able to click on this and then click on a lemming and give them the gift of either climbing boots, an umbrella, or a bomb that's going to explode them. And I think I can leave it at that for now. The other thing we can give them which will fit here is lemming actions. Still not good enough. Default level again. And this needs to be Boolean. And still failing. I normally get it after one failure. I normally get it. But right now I'm not quite sure what it's after. I might just get rid of that and tell it to implement it again. No. If anyone spots the mistake, let me know. Oh, it's implemented them with numbers. So Assemblyscript comes with its own set of types. But because they're all rendered into that, they basically all fall back into the basic JavaScript number type. So it gets a bit confused there. See you, Bree. Thanks for coming along. Have a good evening. And let's just check the main level. Yeah, that's got the right types. yes, we finally got it building. So hopefully I can turn this one into a climber if I'm fast enough. I apparently was not. Either I wasn't fast enough, or I just haven't got this logic quite right. And of course it's very difficult to kind of work out what's going on because it's deep in Assemblyscript. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly commit what I've got. And I'll go into our JavaScript file, which is like our interface between the not our tests but our source. This is like our interface between the screen and the assembly script. So up here we have all of the different messages, all of the functions we want to pass in to be able to be imported, and we've got a log message in our index file. So if I go into the index file, I can define not quite sure on the syntax, but I've got something similar here. Declare, not define. So I just all this does is tell Assemblyscript there is a function that's going to be passed in that you can call as if it was a native function. So in loop I should be able to do things like up here where we're processing our inputs, I should be able to log a message. Except it doesn't like that. So I'm just going to quickly jump over to the Assemblyscript documentation and see what's going on. Except the documentation isn't exports and imports. It's not quite easy to follow. So here's what I'm trying to do. Sort of imports here. Export declare namespace. So in our JavaScript, I think we've got to call this console. Oh, actually, I think that might be hooking off the JavaScript console. So I might try commenting this bit out. Actually, no, let's keep it there and see what's going to happen. But it looks like that is... Oh, I can import console from foo. So in my loop, there we go. Now in process inputs I should be able to do console.log just as if it was normal normal JavaScript. So in my JavaScript I need to actually change this back to index. Function import requires a callable. I think there's a bit of complexity when it comes to strings. Let's see what it's got to say. No, it doesn't say much about strings. If I remove the console log from loop. See you later, Al. Thanks for coming along. And have a good evening. So what happens if I just do it like this? I ignore the namespace for now and just try and get it like that. Still doesn't like it. It's a slightly different error now. Module is not an object or function. So we've got this one that's working just fine. Does it make a difference if I'm not exporting it? Because if I can just declare it like that, then I can put a wrapper function around it. I'm still using console.log here. It's entirely possible that that was the error. So that is okay. Takes a little while for it to build every time, and I was originally having it build the optimized version, but that took even longer. And of course, the more files I have, the longer it takes to compile anyway. What I might try is at some point splitting it up into distinct Assemblyscript. And here we go. We've got processing inputs happening many times a second. Yeah, for now the build time is usually okay because I don't iterate quickly. I write a lot of code. Now what I want to do here is I want to open up my game state, which stores what gift we've got, and I'm just going to log that we've selected the climbing boots. Now when we're processing this in the level, and now we're just going to log what their positions are. There's no string interpolation either, so I've got to construct it the old-fashioned way. that should give us everything we need to know for now. And of course it errors. Did I forget a toString somewhere? Yes. What? Oh, it's swap console debug again. Old habits. So that's level, loop, we've got log, and index, we've got the export. So it's processing all of the inputs, and if I click on climbing, it says it selected the climbing boots, and click there. So it 6 and 2, 6 and 5, 6 and 10, 6 and 15, 6 and 10, 6 and 5. So it looks like I was close to some lemmings, I just didn't quite get them. They was moving slightly too fast. So let's slow it down to the normal speed and give that a go again. So that looks like 8, 8, 6 and 6, so that lemming should now start climbing up the wall. Yes, we have a climbing lemming. Okay. And don't think we've managed to get an exploding lemming yet. Let's have a look. Maybe I should process all of these at the end of the frame rather than at the beginning. Ah, there we go, we got an exploding one. And he took out some of the terrain. Or she, I guess. And I'll restart the level in a sec and we can test out the umbrella. But yeah, it definitely seems like Oh, now that's interesting. The level didn't reset when like the terrain didn't reset when I restarted the level. I should make a note for that somewhere. definitely got an umbrella on one of them. We're just going to need to wait for them to start falling. There we go, that's the umbrella. It falls slower and it turns into a U shape. So we can get rid of some of the logs we put in. That one. We'll keep the function exported because we will need it other places. I think that might be a good place to leave it for tonight. I will be back tomorrow at 9 PM and then we will hopefully get the terrain regeneration sorted and we'll start implementing some more actions that we can assign to Lemmings. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Hit follow if you want to know when I go live. It's generally Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday at 9 PM till about 11 PM. And have a very nice day.